Okay, what's going on, everyone? ZachSongZ here. Oh, God dang it. Every time I forget I have a retainer in. We are playing some more Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. We are on the trial, the final trial. But this is only going to be the first half, because I know this is going to take 70 million years. But we have a good idea of who the culprit is. And I did not get water. I will be right back. Give me like 30 seconds. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm back. I just need to get some water so I wouldn't kill myself with the voices today. We're not finishing this case today. We are doing the first half of the trial today, and then we'll finish the game tomorrow. Okay, let's get into this. This is the defendant lobby, all right? But there's no defendant. I'm trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? Where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 777 blah 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 ID card is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Hey, did you forget who I thought it was? Here you go. Nudge nudge, wink wink. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. The only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there is still room for doubt on this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling on the defendant. 5 minutes after the trial starts, Lana will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. Is he Nagito? Aw, yeah. That would be awesome. It's just like, he's like, hi, I'm in this game now. Who are you? Why do you keep talking randomly? It's like, I don't know. I'm just here. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL-9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Ganta has on her, it's now. WI 24, 10 AM, District Court, Courtroom number 9. Did we ever switch courtrooms? I never, paid attention. That would be awesome since this case came out before SDO2 even came out. Yeah, just like, hey, I'm here. It's like, who are you? It's like, you'll know soon. And just like, a couple years later, you just see Danganronpa 2, it's like, oh, they predicted it. That'd be kind of funny. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal with Chief Gant. This game is really loud in my headphones again. God dang it. These headphones are weird. Morning, folks! Okay, that should be good. Sorry, I know you can't hear it. Okay, there we go. Is it working? Yeah, I think so. Morning, folks! How's everyone been doing? Hey, Udgy, been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is for my work. That's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Standing still for all eternity. I don't like that proposal. Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted a request. Nagito? In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. There's a bad end waiting for you in this case. Oh, yikes. So I could get the bad ending? Yikes. Well, I'm probably gonna get it. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! You're so dumb. Well, not you, but you're probably being blackmailed for something. You can't! Your Honor, the defense's claims did not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. No, I don't know, it's just a random joke. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening. What up, double shooter?
It appears the time for this verdict has arrived. The court finds the defendant.
Objection!
Oh,
Dang, wow. One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature.
Come now, Worthy. I understand that this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut?
No, no, no. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal. Hasn't there been blackmail before? I don't know. I guess the judge doesn't seem to be very smart, so I assume he's just like, oh yeah, it's probably true, right? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Sky. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Sky. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant?
Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. How did I know they're gonna play the song? I was like, yeah. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Sky. Occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark at the Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark. I like how this is completely in character for Edgeworth. I know, right? I mean, I really like what they did with Edgeworth. He's gotten a lot of, I don't know if it's necessarily development. We just got to see more of him is what it is, I think. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember the trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then. He sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. trip to I don't know why that made me laugh, but the trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Witness testimony 2 years ago. Bum, 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 bum. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. Yesteryear. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting him to say that. Yes, the time for yesteryear has finally begun.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got it. You gotta admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
Okay. Can I check this? Stabbed in the back. See, that's, is this? I have a feeling it might just be that. Well, I don't know. I never forget what I saw that instant. Mr. Marshall. Chest. Right? Like, okay, maybe. No. I keep forgetting circle is, I mean A. Yeah, I'm playing this on a DS. That's totally why I'm using a save slot right now. Did Phoenix just describe himself just now? Sounds like something he would do. It's not that. Okay. I'm gonna... I didn't do anything. What happened? Nothing. I hit the wrong button. That's what happened. I actually did hit the wrong button there. I sped up instead of went back. 2 years ago, okay. Yes, she was second in command under Chief Detective Gant. Sister, she was the best detective ever. She was the best around. Yeah. I believe they shared the same office. Yeah, that's right. I'd always said blah 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 blah. Yes, we've seen this. Female playing that organ. Oh, so the organ was there back then. That's interesting. Okay. Took me hostage. I swear she said he didn't or something, but okay. Man? Yes, Joe Dark. Who do you think it was, Phoenix? I don't know. He was a serial killer, blah blah blah. Brought into questioning. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When we saw his tracks, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, blah 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 blah. The elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky in Gant's office. A lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. I don't know why that's just... Why didn't you just continue the... Okay. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Detective Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Gant was there too? Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
Dark grabbed me. I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then. But... Hold it! Can you tell? Okay. Never mind. Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark, and then, just then, the lights went out.
Lights?
Just about this time of year, there was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out?
Wait a minute. It was pitch dark in that room. You shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then, lightning flashed again outside. Then that sudden flash left an unforgettable image in the back of my mind.
I see.
Told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
Picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? I want to ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. Or not.
The list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
Can I see this? Really? Okay. Are you serious? Can we zoom in at least? Oh, it's in Japanese. Or, I don't know. It looks like scratched out Japanese. Okay, I guess I'll just press you on that then. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes.
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken.
But I did draw it, I swear! I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. Guess I should check the evidence again. Did I not check the right?
What?
Is there a pic you have of that scene? I don't know. Is there? Wait, go back. Did I get anything from here? No. Wait, can I check the cause of death? Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean you were stabbed from the back.
Well, anyway, let's continue. The scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
That must have been a real shock.
You now want to...
Okay, you literally just said that.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage. When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. But Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Is it... Can I show this? Maybe? I don't know. I gotta try it out. Okay. Oh yeah! Sweet! I got it right. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. that is dumped on Dark. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you still insist on denying its evidence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. This is the evidence list for the SL-9 incident? Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Oh! What? Wait, are you serious? Oh, am I dumb? Oh, I might be dumb. Wait. Oh my god, of course. Oh, I probably should have done that earlier. Oops. What's this? What? You're gonna put it sideways? Really? Okay. Yes, what is this?
Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew!
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. That paper is not the same size as it was in that last picture.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete.
Imagine if she wrote the killer's name on the other side. It's like, God dang it, Zach, you could have figured it out then and there.
These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What?
Oh my god, he's such a terrible prosecutor. All of you be quiet! Order! Order! Who would have thought the picture would have been drawn on the back of the evidence list?
That was handed to Detective Goodman in the questioning room. Room? Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor!
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
Sorry, I've been having too much coffee. No. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing. Then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible. Let's see here.
Why do you keep saying M over and over and over again? Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is something drawn on the back of my list. That is that thing.
No! No! Make it stop! That's that thing! Oh, that's the thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Apparently the head of criminal affairs used this for his blueprint. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Well...
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she saw the picture. I swear to God, if this blue badger has something to do with that case 2 years ago, I'm gonna be so upset. That thing is stupid. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
To think a flash of lightning can burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
No. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Whoosh. Alright, I don't see anything wrong with this, so I'm gonna press until I find the answer. That's kind of the logic of this game. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the detective team was reorganized. I haven't actually been watching his the free time whatever stuff. I don't know. I never really find that stuff interesting if you played it yourself. Detective Goodman was placed in charge under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. Can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. Hold it! So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have... You mean, you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture... Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course! This is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detective? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I better watch out or we might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Which is...
What? Wait, what? What's the contradiction?
Maybe I'm just being stupid. Does that match the way he died? I guess it looks like he's getting like stabbed in the head or something. I don't know. That doesn't look necessarily. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Can I say this? Yeah, okay, there we go. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
What up, Malsham?
Wait, how is she watching it from her point of view? What?
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
I don't know how to, like... I don't know how to, like, click on it. He's covering his heart. I don't know. I don't know, man. Wait. What did I say, like, here? Okay, I'm gonna just load that back. Is it the weapon itself? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know how to explain this with a with like a point out the difference. Am I being dumb? Well, I mean, yes, but that's because the drawing stinks. It hits rewind. Well, I don't think it's gonna end up being that, unless it is, and I'm stupid. That was actually the right path, and you messed up. What is the contradiction? I do not know. How about the knife? No, but I can do. Contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. That could just be attributed to bad drawing, though. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Okay. I'ma say okay.
In fact, you don't even have to look closely to see that.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
I recall. The tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
This is the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. No. I'm afraid it's not so simple.
Objection!
Huh. Where could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. The drawing still stinks. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Ah! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. Well, what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence. You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ah!
It's true Edgeworth was annoyed. Yeah, he was. Order! 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 Are you saying that the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one?
I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna be Emma's mistaken. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon is already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Oh! It was the Blue Badger.
This don't know. Did we ever find out what the screwdriver actually was? No. Oh, wait, was it this actually? Maybe? Because there was blood on it. Well. No, because it was just broken in this case, sorry. No. Unless it wasn't. I don't know. If it wasn't that. Well, I guess at this point it's... I saved, right? Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, I did save. I guess at this point it's just trial and error. The only thing I can think of is either the broken piece of this jar or the screwdriver. Wait, let me look at the report again. Could a screwdriver actually do it? Wait. Weapon found in wound with missing tip? Isn't it the opposite? Tip was found... Maybe not. I kind of want to try saying this, but I don't... When was this broken exactly? It was Edgeworth's knife. That was the murder weapon. Okay, I need to actually start trying some stuff, otherwise I'm not going to get anywhere. Yeah, it's not that. Okay. I want to try the other one, and then I don't know. It's not that one either. Got it. Okay. Let's think about this more thoroughly. Okay, we're just starting to lag out there. Cloth. Oh! I know what it was. Oh, how do I show it? I think it's the sword. That thing in the on the thing maybe. I don't know how to say it. Like that's the only thing I can think of because he would have still had it, right? Or would I don't know. I think try just presenting this itself maybe. I'm gonna say no. I don't know. I'm just trying different things at this point, I guess. I mean, it's not the picture. Oh, okay, there we go. If anything's broken, reset. If anything's broken, if the answer lies in the past, 2 years in the past, right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. Yes, I figured that out after 2 bad attempts. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the picture was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood this award. Did he just like rip it out or something? Order! 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 Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and a broken knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. Oh! Vivian's like, I didn't think about that. New murder weapon unlocked. An award.
Well, the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here? What's going on is that you're stupid. It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Hold it! Wait! I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
The list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What?
You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. Oh, now you remember, Emma. What? I'm confused.
I don't know what that hold it.
What? I don't know what's happening. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Why is it sideways?
I don't know.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. Oh, this should be interesting. Witness testimony. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. What?
It's certainly most unusual.
Try impossible. The head detective of criminal affairs didn't even design him until this year. The badger knows all. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop, please, don't pursue this any further. Lana.
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Scott. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Belief, please detain the defendant.
Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Okay, contradiction. When you say that man, I assume you referred to Joe Dark? Yes, at least I think it was him. You think? All I could really see were shadows. The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you...
We've come so far, is it all? Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think of was, I've got to help Mr. Marshall. Wait, you're contradicting yourself, though. You didn't know it was Marshall. What do you mean you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. In a matter of just a few seconds, Miss Sky was almost killed. Then she witnessed a murder about to take place. A little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave. So then, what happened next?
Just then, there was another flash of light. That's when I saw the blue badger. Are you sure about this? Of course! See? I even drew a picture of him here. But the head detective of criminal affairs thought up this hideous beast, and And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before, somewhere. Now I finally remember! The Blue Badger is a ripoff of the Blue Badger. If only it was designed this year. Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
Fellas, where in the room did you see him dancing?
His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this Blue Badger really?
I wonder which one I picked, guys.
No, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna just say that. The Blue Badger hadn't even been dreamed up when Emma drew this picture. She's certain she saw a shadow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright!
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instance? Please show us this.
Oh, I know what it is. It's this. It's this thing, isn't it? That's the only thing I can think of. Right? I'm not being dumb. I mean, just to be safe, we're just gonna save. Maybe this? Yeah, okay. The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
We've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Would it be something like this, maybe? Oh, look at that emulator lagging. Whew! Some hot lag. Is it like this? Well, how do I... Wait. How do I, like... Can I, like, turn it sideways? Could it be like this, maybe? Maybe I had it right the first time. Could be like that. Oh, wait. Can we... No, that doesn't look right. So like this, maybe? Oh, wait, no. The other way around, actually. Something like this? Well, flip it. Or, no. That sort of looks like it. I don't like this. I hate this mechanic. The only thing is, she said like 3 horns, but there's not a third one. Can it be more like... God dang it. The Blue Badger. continuously haunting me. How about, like, that? How about that? That sort of works. Is that? Maybe? Can I? I'm gonna save that slot real quick. Is it this? Hey! No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. No, it can't be!
Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
The Blue Badger is a ripoff of a jar.
Oh man, I can't believe they ripped him off that badly. I hope the jar is at least getting paid. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed? Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar?
Oh,
that changes where she needs. Well, it doesn't change the location itself. Does it change the murder weapon? Does it change the murderer?
I don't know.
I don't think it changes location, because we already said it was in here. So that's fine. So let's look at this picture real quick. I think it changes. I don't think it changes the murderer. The murderer. Or does it? I guess I'll try this. Murderer. Let me take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. Not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle. Knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime.
Is there no wrong answer? Is it like all of them?
It's okay. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I don't know. Finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
To fool the popo. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more.
The man was knocked in the direction of the shelf. The jar was in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on. What would he have hit? The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the Prosecutor's Award. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright? What's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall, the suit of armor stabbed him. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? Oh. No! Don't you dare. Thud. Oh. Yikes. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
Objection. Yeah, I thought so. What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances... Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved the Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
No, I am your father.
No! I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe in your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. You certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. No. Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow. That's impossible!
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind.
That was weird.
Anything? I would say it's this. Can't we just call Maya so she can get over here and Spirit Channel? I know, she should be done by now, right? Can I move this at all? No, okay. I think it's that, maybe. I don't think there's anything else, is there? Alright, if it doesn't secretly say something. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. It's in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky.
Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek, the truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Alright, just gonna save in case they're like,
What does that have to do with anything?
but I'm pretty sure it's this claw. This is the message from the deceased.
Right. Now then.
This is the message from the judge. Okay. That was wrong, but... Oh, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Judge.
Right, now this is the message from the judge.
Oh, that's the best thing this game has done in like 7 years. Alright. It wasn't that. I thought it was going to be like, well, her fingerprints are on it, so it must be her. Alright. So what is it then? No. Why am I going through that? You wouldn't leave anything on his autopsy report. He's not alive. Evidence lists. Strip cloth. Wait. Anything weird about this? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not this smart. This screwdriver. I don't know. Oh, wait. We were like, oh, isn't it weird that there's a line here? Is it this, somehow? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Try it.
And this is the message from the judge.
Oh. Oh, never mind. Okay, I guess that is it.
This is that blue magic from before, right?
Oh, is he just gonna speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Like everyone's forgotten, this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. How does that help? It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood.
What you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar when the lines changed direction. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect the points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No!
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us all the answers. Gotta connect the dots to make the letters.
Oh.
Oh. Is that good enough, I guess? I did it. Boom! That was really easy. It's the defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocent. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. The murderer's name didn't work in the first game on case 2.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Skye.
So how on earth did the other guy die?
Oh wait, no, he didn't die. He was just charged. I forgot about that.
Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief Gant.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not?
Ah.
Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Crap! But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
Order! 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 Order!
There will be no order. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where the trial is headed, no one knows.
Oh, and that's the end.
So Emma was the killer in the SL-9 incident. Well, at least the final killing. Wow. That... Excuse me. That didn't even hit me until they said it, and I was like, oh.
Wow.
I think the chief wrote Emma on the vase and wiped away. That would be a cool twist. I still think the chief is the killer for this new case. I don't know how exactly. Well, actually, I think he was just... Yeah, no. It was him, because he probably brought Goodman into the room, killed him, and told Lana to dump the body. He too chill. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't seem surprised by that at all. He's like, huh, oh, well, I guess we just killed the guy. That sucks to be you, right? I hate you all. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to end the stream here. We're going to be streaming the finale of this game tomorrow. Get hype. Oh, anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe to see more of this awesome game. And without further ado, I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.